Did you get a chance to go over to like the Ginza area?
I did not. I wanted to. And that was my main thing. It was just so hot.
Yeah,
it was just tough to.
It's hot over there too.
Yeah,
it's all like tall buildings. Ginza feels almost like Manhattan to me.
Yeah,
but that's where like the Dover Street is, and then there's a
because Akihabara felt like fucking Brooklyn.
Yeah,
like Akihabara. Yeah, like it felt like fucking like everywhere felt like another city. But I think that was my main regret, was that it was so hot that we had to choose our spots, because it was like, if we're gonna overheat out here. Like it's too crazy to just hop from section to section. Only places we didn't hit was Harajuku and Ginza, and I really regret that.
Yeah, Harajuku's cool. Like that's comparable to Shibuya.
Yeah.
A lot of just shops and walking. And, But Ginza's cool. Like Ginza, they have the Muju store, which is like the flagship. So it's like 7 stories. It's like a cafe in the bottom. But Muju's like one of them interesting brands and companies where it's like they make everything.
Yes.
So it's just cool to see like all this shit they make. Like they have like this little tea section where you can make your own type of tea, like with different blends and mixes. And then upstairs is like the home goods. And they got the art and a library on the roof. It's all type of different shit.
We went to the Muji out there, and I like the stationery stuff they had there too. Like that was pretty dope. And again, like everything they do, every store out there has everything in it. Everything you might need, like even the Daiso. We have Daisos out here. The Daiso out there is literally like their fucking Rite Aid or their fucking Party City. They had everything in there. Like, I went to a cat cafe too.
Oh yeah, I walked past a couple. I'm like, I ain't trying to pet no cats.
It's chill.
I ain't trying to pet no cats.
Well, my wife went crazy in there.
Yeah,
she wants a fucking cat.
It's definitely a woman thing.
Yeah.
What's a cat cafe?
So you go in there, and you pay like maybe $10 to get in, and after every 15 minutes you pay like an extra $4 or $5 or something like that. You go in there, you can play video games, you can chill, you can read, you can play board games, and there's cats all around you, and they might come up to you and come kick it. I think like the idea is that for like all the hustle and bustle, because it's right in the middle of the city, like there's multiple ones in the city. So I guess the idea is like, if you want to get away from like the hustle and bustle of what's going on and just chill and kind of decompress, you can go to a cat cafe and chill with some sleeping ass cats. Like, and you can just kick it. You could buy them like treats and shit, and they can eat it. It's very like on the outset initially, it's weird.
It's very weird. That's why I haven't done it.
But when you get in there, it's like it's kind of chill. Like if you've been walking like how we was walking, and it was hot. It was cool to just kick it in there and drink some water.
I get that. No, it makes sense. I think, like you said, for all the hustle and bustle of the city, it's a good respite to that. But I don't know. It's just. It feels a little weird to me.
Why does it feel weird?
I do a dog cafe.
They have one.
They have,
They
have
do?
Like,
mm-hmm.
They got like different pet shops and shit. That's another thing about Japan too. Like their animal culture is a little different. Like they don't have big dogs.
No, all small.
Small dogs. So like you can go into the pet store and it's just a bunch of small fluffy dogs and shit. And it's like, oh shit.
Love little Yorkies.
Yeah.
Yorkies, I saw biggest dogs I saw was Frenchies. They fucking love
Frenchies.
Them out there
they got
too.
Frenchies out there.
They love Frenchies out there too. I mean, and again, it goes into like they're just enough culture. Like they don't have big houses or apartments. They can't have big dogs out there. Yeah. They literally can't. But I just had a really positive experience, man. Like I'm glad that I went. When I went to Akihabara, I saw some Tengas. Saw some Tengas out there.
You cop?
Nah, I was gonna cop for you and Josh, but
I cop me no Tenga.
I thought y'all were gonna look at me funny.
Why not?
They just had the fucking wall was empty. One of the shits was empty. One of the things on the case was empty.
You didn't get a chance to go to Don Quixote, right?
No, I didn't.
Man, I don't know why I'm just so interested in this store. It's like literally the Walmart of Japan, and like
they have Louis bags in there. I saw.
Yes, they have everything. They resell Louis shit in there. Like I'm so enthralled with this shop. Like every time I go, I at least spend a good 2 hour and a half maybe there. And I'm just like, yo, this shit's crazy. Like
we saw multiple actually.
Because they're all over.
Yeah, but again, we're like moving. We're trying to like hit specific places, and I hit the Kith store out there, which was dope, and they're like 2 stories out there too. I'm really impressed by the sales associates out there because they keep one American there that know how to talk to us, and they send them to us every single time. They keep one out there.
Yeah, because they know a lot of people go there to do shopping. Yeah, like from other places like China and all over. So they kind of always know that they need to appeal to the foreigners and the tourists.
They're good, man. And I mean that's not even to speak of the food. I mean I went to a sushi spot out there. I don't know how many you went to. You probably went to like mad sushi spots out there, but like seeing them make it in front of us. And I know I mentioned it before, like we disrespecting their culture. Like I didn't know that they ate it with their hands out there.
Yeah, no, they like, that's the thing. It's like they're really, and like if you're a tourist, they'll know. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
us being
They
black,
know.
so they'll kind of
Yeah.
like lead you through the process. But like, yeah, seeing them make it in front of you is amazing. One spot that and I was just talking about this over the weekend. I went to a tempura spot.
Yeah.
And like the tempura in Japan and the way they have it here is so different.
So different.
It's like coursed out, and it's like this whole experience, and it's different just items, and like I was blown away. Like that's one meal that I'm like can't wait to experience again when I go back to Japan.
I had some tempura with my dipping noodles. I went to a dipping noodle spot, which is like their McDonald's or fast food. Like, and that's another thing about them too. They don't want you sitting in there chilling too damn long.
Oh yeah, no, it's like eat and leave.
Yeah, eat and leave, because like you look at it, right, Mark, and you get in there and it's like the seating is like odd, and the way that it's arranged is weird, but it's like you're seated there to eat and get the fuck out.
Yeah,
like they a lot of the rules are like no longer than an hour and a half or no longer than 45 minutes. Like they don't want you to be there like that fucking long. Fury has that rule. The one that we went to, it was just like we would see people because the seating is just literally just like this.
Yeah, it's
there's
like
no across
booths,
seating.
Yeah,
like there's no across seating. You would see people eat and they out because they got somewhere to be, and it's like and again it's like it's just enough. Like you get just enough. You already get the experience because you get to see them make it in front of you. They're fucking making the noodles right in front of us, all that shit. Like it's crazy how much they let us in on the experience.
Outside of the cat cafe, which was kind of like a quote unquote lounge, but technically you have to pay to lounge, which I guess kind of incentivizes, okay, if you want to kick it, you can kick it, you just got to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the only place, in fact, ironically, and that's a good point. It's the only place where you could just chill and kick it for a minute. Like, I mean, other than like, and again, Disney, like obviously they want you to stay there, but it's like it was definitely cool because I felt like it gave us more of our day back with that. We weren't just sitting in a restaurant for half of it. It was like they have places where they have like conveyor belt sushi, where it was like you pick the sushi you want, it'll come around in a conveyor belt, you eat it, and you get the fuck out of there. And that's another place where it's like they're standing up and eating it. Like you stand up, eat it, and then you just walk out.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that I really enjoy about Japan too, is that like the food culture is that's very much about the food and not so much about
sitting
all
down.
the shit around the food and drink. Like I don't know. I mean, drinks they have drinks and bars like that too. But speaking of, did you go down I forget what it's called. Is it Golden Alley? It's like the alley. Oh, but you don't drink.
No.
It's like an alleyway with just like a bunch of bars like stacked on top of each other.
You know what's funny?
Crazy.
Like, my wife was like, I didn't see any bars. I was like, are you sure? Like there was a bar.
Yeah, there's bars at every corner. Yeah, she just wasn't.
Everywhere.
She's probably preconditioned not to look at them, just be with you. But there's bars everywhere. Like that's one thing I've noticed.
Cool, man.
That's one thing I just noticed about Japan. They're big on alcohol and liquor and stuff like that. But damn, yeah, I don't know. I like you talking about your trip is just like making me think back to mine, and like I can't wait to get back.
I gotta go with you.
Yeah, like I'm really trying to go in like probably like April. Like that's the time of year when everybody goes. The fucking cherry blossoms and all that shit.
It's the height of tourist season.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say that I was lucky about is that we didn't see many tourists when we were out there because
dope,
it wasn't peak season. It's also fucking hot, so I guess that we kind of braved that because there weren't tourists there. But I mean, it's definitely a place to kind of change my perception and like really like made me appreciate something in a way that I didn't appreciate things before. And I'm going back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go back. I have to because I got to get a big titty statue.
Next time you go back to, you should try to go to like the other cities like Kyoto.
I want to. Yeah.
Kyoto is like that's why I did the train ride to Kyoto last time I went, and that city is amazing. Had some of the best ramen I ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah, literally some of the best ramen I've ever had in my life in Kyoto.
Then you get to take the train. You get to see like you
get to see Mount Fuji. Yeah, like you get to see the countryside.
Mark, let's go. Get your ticket. Let's go.
Yeah, I would love a team trip. Last time I went with a few people too, and it was just cool to just be like, all right, like we're gonna do our own thing. We're gonna meet up. Like it was just a good vibe.
I feel like it's best. You know what I mean? Like I even went to like the fish market out there.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that because that's the spot. Remember I told you we went to sushi at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the spot. It was over there.
We went to the fish market. We had like the skewers. I got some bomb ass Wagyu beef on a skewer out there. Had some great ice cream, and they don't play out there. When it's lunchtime's over, they pack up.
Oh yeah,
and they pack all their shit up, and then they open back in 2 hours after that. And it was great, man. Everything was great. Other than the heat, I have no complaints about it, and I loved it out there. I want to stay out there longer next time. So that was Japan. I've been posting pictures now. I finally kind of unleashed the flood of pics, and I got to see the giant Gundam statue. So I did everything that I wanted to do.
Fire.